definition of the troll hunter. I'm DLAKE for PREZ, the troll hunter. Tonight, we're going to take a look at this article, this YouTube post. It's posted on the Alex Jones channel. The headline, Pentagon Armies of Paid Trolls. The host of this InfoWars Nightly News segment is Paul Joseph Watson. Mr. Watson, I believe, did a very good job exposing trolls. And also, what does he talk about in this report? Well, he talks about all the same things that DLAKE for PREZ has been talking about. The Pentagon, paid trolls, Cass Sunstein, cognitive infiltration, and a bunch of contractors and ex-military that are going to fall on their swords to protect the brass. And what is a troll, DLAKE? Thought that was a mythical creature under a bridge. Well, maybe in Scandinavian folktales, you might be correct. But nowadays, a troll, the definition, is someone who gets paid to go on the websites, talk a whole gang of mess, write a paragraph every time, fill it with loaded keywords, load it up, put it up there. Well, basically, I don't want to toot my own horn, but guess what? I'm going to do it anyways. I've been covering all these issues, and I'm really happy to see that Paul Joseph Watson, whether or not he took a cue from me or smart minds just think alike, we're both on the same page with this. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to read the description from YouTube, and then we're going to play a segment of this news report with Paul Joseph Watson. Let's do this. In the description, Pentagon in the business of targeting Americans with propaganda. On May 22nd, Michael Snyder reported on an amendment added to a defense authorization bill in Congress that would legalize psychological operations aimed at American citizens. So that's me, and that could be you. The latest version of the National Defense Authorization Act would overturn the Smith-Mundt Act of 1948 and the Foreign Relations Authorization Act of 1987. Snyder writes, well, we're dealing with the internet and modern day technology and these new modern day trolls, but for some reason we have to go back and goof off and fool around with acts like the Smith-Mundt Act of 1948. I don't know what kind of internet they had in 1948, but, you know, maybe that rule serves an importance, and we're going to go find out more about that in our spare time. Well, looks like InfoWars is helping me out. Let's see what they say. Those two laws essentially make it illegal for propaganda that is used to influence public opinion overseas to be targeted at U.S. citizens back here at home. If those two laws are struck down, there will be essentially very few limits to what the U.S. government can do to shape our opinions. The government would be able to bombard us with propaganda messages on television, on the radio, in our newspapers, and on the internet, and there would not even be a requirement that those messages be true. In Coney 2012, that was a brilliant experiment. Did you notice the way that it skyrocketed on YouTube? Did you notice the way that it got filtered and totally pumped up through Facebook and all these fake social networks, right? So I suggest, like Paul Watson suggested, that you go get your prisonplanet.tv membership like I did. Watch the videos on there. You know, I'm still posting my videos to YouTube because winning this contest is still important to me. Okay? After the gates closed back on the 30th, a lot of people felt pretty comfortable with their one or two videos that they had a pretty solid position. Well, I believe in karma, and I believe in God, and I believe in country, and I believe in my efforts paying off. And I believe that the gods will be rewarded for their efforts, and that the titans will be struck down and imprisoned. And the gods, we will win this war. The law made it through the House, and now it awaits action in the Senate. So, you senators better get your act together. It removes the protection for Americans, a Pentagon official told Michael Hastings of BuzzFeed. It removes oversight from the people who want to put out this information. There are no checks and balances. No one knows if the information is accurate, partially accurate, or entirely false. Well, I'm trying to bring you news that's about as accurate as I can make it, alright? You'll notice I'm talking right to the camera, and I'm reading right here off my computer monitor, and I do not have a teleprompter. I did not attend a meeting this morning and get my talking points or my marching orders from anyone in any kind of administration or any kind of big giant building with big giant black doors, okay? I'm just here in my news station bringing it to you like it is. Snyder notes that if the bill is attached to the Defense Authorization Bill and becomes law, there will be little we can do to stop the government from going after journalists, reporters like DLAKE, and destroying their reputations and careers. Great, I'm barely even getting started and you're already ready to wreck me with your COINTELPRO fashion and bogus information and propaganda. Troll Hunter 1, I simply identified a troll. It wasn't that hard. They were talking a whole gang of mess, and their paragraph-long YouTube comments were filled with garbage keywords and nonsensical logic. Alright? And then when I visited that troll's page, it was empty. It was pitiful, and he had to be taken care of and dealt with. Troll Hunter 2, I exposed the troll leader as Cass Sunstein and his cognitive infiltration, and I also defined for you a concerned troll, which he is, and which is one of their MOs. It's one of the ways that they operate. They pretend like they really care about something. Meanwhile, it's the exact opposite. And they get a bunch of people to be concerned because the concern alone is a way for us to get our foot in the door and then flip it on you, flip the script. Okay? It was routine for the FBI under the illegal program to plant false stories in the media and send defamatory letters to employers and families in an effort to discredit and destroy the reputations of activists. An infamous example is a letter the agency sent to Martin Luther King suggesting he commit suicide. Well, send me your address. I'll suggest that you do the same. In 2010, we reported on a plan drafted by Obama's information czar, Cass Sunstein. Please see the Troll Hunter 2, the Troll Leader. For the government to infiltrate conspiracy groups in order to undermine them. In May 2008, it was revealed that the Pentagon was expanding information operations on the internet by setting up fake foreign news websites designed to look like independent media sources, but in reality carrying direct military propaganda. In 2009, the U.S. Air Force announced a counterblog. Oh, the U.S. Air Force is counterblogging? That sounds like one of their national defense primary objectives. In 2009, the U.S. Air Force announced a counterblog response plan aimed at fielding and reacting to material from bloggers who have negative opinions about the U.S. government and the Air Force. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's a whole lot of people that have negative opinions of the Air Force. Yeah. And we certainly don't like G.I. Joe either, okay? We're down for Cobra. Watson noted that the plan was created by the public affairs arm of the Air Force and included a detailed 12-point counter-blogging flowchart that dictated how officers should tackle what are described as trolls, raggers, and misguided online writers. Right. So after they hire all their trolls and contract all their trolls and post all over InfoWars and various media websites, then they're going to try to flip it on us and say that we're the trolls and they're the good guys and we're the bad guys and they're great and we're not and they're smart and we're dumb and they're beautiful and we're ugly and they're going to heaven and we're going to hell and you know, they get all A's, we get all F's, and they've got a great job and make a lot of money and we're on the streets scraping for a meal. Alright? It's just that simple. For Infowars.com, I'm DLAKE for PREZ. The Troll Hunter.